So once again, hi, hello, mabuhay. I am teacher Winwin Sarmiento that will be discussing Harlem Renaissance and the Beat Literary Movement Part 2. So in this video, you will encounter the Beat generation characteristics and the example writings from the Beat generation.
So here are the characteristics of Beat generation. So in number 1, we have sexual liberation, which the theme is more on sexual freedom, relationship that challenge accepted morality, and difficulties of human relationship are commonly examined in their writings. And conservative that were common in 1950s were seen as being rejected by this, which is common here in the Philippines, right? So in number 2, on that period rather, number 2, portraying the human condition clearly. So portraying human condition clearly, the Beat generations sought to examine and portrays the human experience without filters of societal expectation or literary contains. Their works often dealt with personal struggles, alienation, loneliness, and existential question. And also they wrote about realities of life, both beautiful and painful, in an honest or vanished way. So the third one is the experimentation with psychedelic drugs. So in order to broaden their perspective, to explore new perspective and develop their creative abilities, many Beat generation participants experiment with drugs. So particularly psychedelic, like marijuana and LSD, they thought that by providing insights into the main and universe, this substance could encourage deeper artistic expression than following conceptual movements were influenced by experiment as well. So in more on psychedelic, it's more on that you are feeling dizzy, that there's something round in your eyes, like it is colorful or something, but I think it's more psychedelic. Psychedelic is more on colorful So number 4, rejection of materialism. The Beat characterized the rise of materialism and marketing in American after World War II. So, as a distraction from more important goals like spiritual development, artistic expression, and individual freedom, they disapproved to pursuit of riches, status of material things. Their art frequently characterized society focus on financial success and superficial ideals. So in number 5, exploring the religion of Western and Eastern, this characteristic is spiritual exploration was of a great interest to the Beat writers, because they explored a broad variety of religious concept, including both Eastern like Buddhism and Hinduism, and in Western is more Christianity. Then they always look outside of the tradition churches for enlightenment on and purpose, and this spiritual curiosity become a major theme in their writing, and many, including Allen Ginsberg, has been inspired by their writing and personal lives with Eastern ideas and traditions. So in number 6, rejection of narrative. The beat sometimes varied from traditional narrative from the traditional narrative forms of storytelling structures. They use more disconnected or free flowing writing style instead of regular narratives or traditional narrative method. Um, the disorganized, unusual character of their lives and ideas was reflected from this formal structure. So number 7 was non-conformity, which this characteristic, the Beat Generation rebellion of social norms and expectation, was one of its key characteristic because the Beat had no desire to fit within the strictly societal and political and cultural structures of their period. This nonconformity affected their attitude, arts, and the way of life. They often were seen as rebels who oppose common ideas and happenings like success, happiness, and more on American dream. So, lastly is number 8, spontaneous creativity. So, spontaneous creativity was the Beat embarrass unpredictability in their lives and in their methods of creation. The fluidity of ideas and the speed of encounters serve as their inspiration. As a result, a stream of consciousness writing developed in which emotions and ideas are expressed in a raw organic flow. The goal was to record unplanned creative moment because the goal was unplanned creative movement without analyzing or planning. Because this kind of method was thought to be a way of achieving a more honest and free kind of artistic expression. So these are the 8 characteristics of Beat Generation. Now, let's go to the next slide. So in this slide, I will show you the examples of the writing from the Beat Generation. Howl by Allen Ginsberg. So Howl is without a doubt Ginsberg's best known poem. It also known as a Howl for Carl Solomon and was published in 1956 in Howl and the Other Poems. The poem is separated into 3 parts and a footnote. This part is the most commonly read, and it was described as Ginsberg as a lament for the lamb in American without instance remarkable lamb-like youth. Ginsberg wanted a poem to express the pent-up frustration of his generation and the artistic possibilities. So here are the example stanza of these poems. And for example, for explanation, Howl is an instance unfiltered expression of artistic expression, frustration, and rejection of the standard of American society in the middle of 20th century, because it became a call to action for the Beat Generation and representation of the desired change and freedom because of the instant emotion and content and powerful of the visuals. So here are the importance of the Beat Generation. So the Beat Generation was the key movement in American poetry, and it's also the larger modernist movement influencing the various aspects like culture. And one of the importance of the importance of Beat Generation was it also influenced music, films, and the visual of pushing boundaries in creative expression. They played a role to promote a new respect for nature and indigenous heritage, were important in sexual revolution and advocating for sexual freedom and offenders. And here are the list of my reference that I use in my report. So thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoy and hope you learn something. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Thank you.